Well, let's start the game. Welcome! Hey, howdy, hi, gang. It's your dude, it's your guy, Kami Kang. And we're going to play Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Trilogy. This game has been a favorite of mine for a while. I think I prefer this guy over Phoenix Wright. And is that controversial? Yes, it is very controversial. Because Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright is the OG of OGs, but Apollo just has a little bit more going for him. In terms of gameplay and character and storytelling, it's just a better version. There is a specific chapter that is my favorite. We'll talk about it when I get there, but for now, let's pick a chapter. The first chapter, new game, episode 1. Dude, look at the sprite work. Shit's beautiful. Oh my god, we can play like this. Alright. Let's go. No more waiting. Let's go. Oops. Turnabout episode 1. Turnabout Truno? Showdown time. You lose. Could that be? And then there was blood. Ooh. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that? Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. Okay. Should it come to that? Should I come? April 20th. 420. 9:37 a.m. District Court. Defense Lobby number 3. Okay. Panicked. Palms sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Good morning. Who's this? Oh, hello. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wandered uptight. Oh, damn. All right. You gonna loosen me up? Wound up, sir? No. I'm loose. I'm fine. I'm loose. That screeching noise, is that your voice, I suppose to be? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my chores of steel voice workout. I'm fine! That explains it. I didn't detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down. His name is Christoph. Alright, Christoph. You've got me draft. Got my draft? Draft. Gotten, sir. I'm all over that draft. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. I can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be prepared. I'll be preparing your case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Alright, the music is pretty damn good. Forgot how good the music is. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Whoa! Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest. Is that Phoenix? I think I'm supposed to say something. Nope. So, you're... Fine! I'm fine! I think there's a tendency to say I'm fine. Ah, Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney, and he's your friend, so why... You'll see. Huh? You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time, shall we? Yes, sir. Interesting. Okay, I need to focus. First trial, here comes justice. Imagine if your name was your literal life living job. Like, what if my job was what if my name was Okang Delivery Man? His name is Apollo Justice. Okang Delivery Man? What if my dad was Alexander Oil Refinery? Okay. I forgot the soundtrack was this dope.
The court is now in session.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The fence is, fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late.
Your name was Mr. Justice, and this is your first trial.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm fine, really. Don't keep saying that, bro.
Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Gavin.
Yes, Your Honor.
I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case.
That was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always see to his client's wishes, and my client specifically requested Mr. Justice.
Well, of course he wants justice, but to entrust his case to his greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate why I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin.
Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine, but does he have cords of steel like me?
Then let's begin. The defense may enter the courtroom. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances.
Long time no see. Hisashiburi da na, Mr. Right. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? Why's his name Phoenix when his name should be Papa? Damn, boy. Damn. With the fucking 5 o'clock shadow, the not even 5 o'clock. I said that's 2 o'clock shadow. That's like partially a 5 o'clock. These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. Mr. Wright, how could this happen? I won't
speak of it further then.
Oh my god, the camera's zooming! She do be zooming! If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Oh, it's the judge.
To think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains.
That's Mr. Payne. He's a reoccurring character, and he's just a bitch. He's literally a bitch. Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see.
The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the head. Smack! Get him cold.
A customer at the restaurant, you say? Oh, and the defendant, you say he was...
The pianist at the club, it seems.
We're gonna give him a Frieza voice.
Phoenix Wright, a pianist?
This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. The court accepts the
Deadly bottle is evidence.
Deadly bottle of evidence added to the court record. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record, right. The court record, right. I've heard of that. Use the R button to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right. Just right button. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action.
So the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this, Shady Smith fellow?
Oh, his literal name is Shady Smith.
I believe
he was a traveler, Your Honor.
Traveler?
According to his passport, he had been out here in the country for a number of years. He had only returned to his country recently, though. His place of residence unclear.
And he had some sort of connection with the defendant?
That, too, is unclear, present, Your Honor. I believe they first met at the Broche Bold Club in the night of the crime.
If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing.
But doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skills. At least no piano player. I'll let this photo explain what I mean.
Who's getting better head? This guy or me?
As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime.
Wait a minute, a second. Isn't poker gambling?
That's a crime in and of itself.
Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest of sort of crime.
Oh, hear that objection. It is true that the defendant has engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that a game in the pursuit, in the purest sense, a competition, Your Honor.
Ah, competition?
Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs with wreathed in blue flame, knowing its final outcome.
Come again?
The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor.
I believe the defense was waxing poetic in the attempt to mystify those present and impress women.
That will be our first order of business here then. To find out more about this...
Subscribe to the Comic Gang channel.
To find out more about this fatal game of cards.
Shameless plug from me.
Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. If no one is if no one is aware of what Phoenix Wright is about, it's an attorney game where people talk, you find the lies, and you point out the lies by screaming at them. Let's get into it, huh? My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. Apollo's special. Apollo's very special. We'll find out why in a minute. I'm a pianist by trade, yes. Yet, I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested... Oh, you know what? We hadn't even changed the damn stream to playing goddamn Phoenix Wright. Ace Justice. Ba-da-da, da-da-da. Apollo, my bad, not Ace. Apollo Justice, the trilogy. No! It's not the game.
My real job is to take on interesting customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attraction. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game. And our customers are happy. Interesting. The game part.
A pianist who can't play piano.
Better than a defense attorney who can't defend.
Very well. Defense may begin the cross-examination.
Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Come on, Apollo. Quit saying my first this, my first that. Are you all right? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times, though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What do? Should I ask for Mr. Gavin for a refresher? Of course, in cross-examination? No, we already know what we're doing here. No need to help me here, sir. I think I've got what covered before. I think you'd better do more than just think. You know it, or do not. I'm fine. The cords of steel are ready for battle. My weapons press and present. Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is the cross-examination. Know it, do it. Inconsistencies, lies, Phoenix Wright. Cool. As if Phoenix Wright would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Cross-examination. Competition. I'm a piano player by trade. I can hardly... Let's check the evidence real quick. Time of death was around 2 p.m. April 17th. 3 days ago, death caused by a single blow to the forehead. Let's look at this picture. Poker tables. Poker cards. It's in black and white, so I can't really tell what color anything is. And that's all I can glean from this. And then the bottle. Can we look at the bottle? Is there anything of importance to the bottle? Just how long has it been drank grape juice? Apparently, it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with it. Okay. And that's it. Anything on the back? The bottle's completely empty. Cool. Anything on the bottom? Anything on the top? Nope. Cool. And this is my attorney badge. I yearn for one of these. Just putting it on makes me feel ready. This is my number at the bottom. There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell you the truth, I got a happy feeling inside just looking at it. Alright. Let's start pressing him. You can hardly play. Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of Pianist is a mask, a representation, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. Then why are you really at the... I can't say that word. Borscht? Let's say Borscht. Borscht Bowl Club. My real job is to take on interesting customers over at the poker table. Hold it. Why? Why is that your real job? They pay you to just play poker? That would seem to be the case. I'm a professional, after all.
Do I detect pride in the statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to...
Yes. Your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston. Damn. What? I've played poker for 7 years in that little room. And I've never lost once. So this is 7 years after Phoenix quit being an attorney. You see why the customer comes now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. Okay. He's playing poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? Hey, he's been an attorney for 7 years. Well, he's been an attorney for a long time and he had never lost until that one time. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attraction. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about this main attraction itself. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction. It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market type back in the day. Black market. On the past, things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lack of deals were made back in the table. Right there in the room. Smoky room gambling hoods, you know. Just look at this picture. It makes me feel bad. The bosses gather all around a table, cutting deals safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through a small window. I can practically picture it now. The window in the back there? The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. Cool. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. 2 decks of cards. Tell me more about these cards. 2 decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you altered 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some laying scattered on the floor. Yeah, I see that too. Precisely, cards on the table, cards upon the floor, each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red and the other blue. Red and blue card sets, okay. As I recall in poker, you make 5-card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Huh? Yes, a game of hands. Hey, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Kami-Ken gang. Yeah, fool! Kami-Ken cool gang. The competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right! It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that crime occurred, but you claim no connection to the crime. Now that's strange. What? What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course. Oh, they kept the song. I like that. This is a classic. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. I completely forgot. Let that one slip out by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I've made clear, namely your connection to the case at hand, and I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Cool. Very well. The defense will amend his testimony. Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony. Cool. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Can we prove that? Can we prove you never touched it? Can we get some fingerprints on that bottle? Silence. The defense has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything about the law. But why? This clearly puts you at a disadvantage. And it's your job to turn that around on your favor. Yes. Yeah, great. Like I didn't have enough to do already. Justice. Didn't you detect anything odd that testimony, huh? Wait, something he said did ring a little strangely. Just one thing. It's over. When you figured it out, I suggest presenting evidence. The contradiction. Maybe fingerprints on the weapon? Let me see. I better check the court record. Can't imagine Mr. Wright lying on the testimony. Isn't it a little early to be just jumping to conclusions? This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. If you need more information, don't forget to press. Right. I got it, fine. Time to listen to the testimony again. So, I'm thinking. This one right here. Something about the weapon, right? Oh, objection! Mr. Justice, Mr. Wright. That was a cool sound effect. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle, right? So I said.
Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
He's giggling over there. Okay. Oh, shit. You know, I didn't notice, but this man has some Goldilocks-ass hair going on here. He never really had that much hair on his head. No wonder he's a bit smug today.
Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb.
What's this, Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Objection. Oh no, he said it. He said it funny. I hear you just fine. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone. Ooh, all right. Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints in the murder weapon were upside down. Upside down? What does that mean? What's it mean, upside down? It means we were holding the bottle inverted. And there can be only one reason for that.
Yes, to brain someone with the bottle.
It's nutface. Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything, you'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? Okay. I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection!
Whoa. This is a crazy objection, man. Your Honor, you seem to be forgetting something. And what would that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the murder, of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported?
Well, that would be the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still that...
Really?
Yes, well, according to the case files, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the scene? Let's take a look at the diagram. Murder weapon, shall we? Ooh. It's a good ass beat. The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from the ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception from down below. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. And this is the phone that made the call. Phone added to the record. Cool. Right cell phone. Used to be the defendant's used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. Cool. Defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet, he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it in to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this time. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you no one is more serious about... What was it you were saying? The defendant was in the room the very moment the crime occurred? How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. Oh, okay. You're as good as you say you are, as they say you are. So someone else was in the room at the night of the crime? That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything until now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. Someone else was involved. Oh, hello. Who could you be? The witness will state her name and profession.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defendant's demonic-looking hair. So I use a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns pointed in the direction of the court will be cut them down.
You are sure?
I swear on my gavel. Please, come on out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor?
Well, if you are sure it is, okay.
What a shy gal.
Now the prosecution.
Oh, okay.
Well, wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witnesses? Paraphernalia.
Yes, she's a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
And that would be...
My name is Olga Orly.
Olga Orly. Olga Orly. Cool name.
A professional as a waitress in a bush.
Or club. Then why the camera? Of course, it is a pride to serve a borscht that is named a restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other services. Other services? I'll take it. Other services? Let me do this real quick. What if we did this? Other services? Huh? Take it, one of those other services is taking customer pictures. Da. Like, for example, this one. Whoa. That's the defendant. Indeed, on the night of the murder, man in the white hat is one who has got kaput. Okay, we took a picture of him and Phoenix sitting at the piano. All right.
Indeed, that is victim. Order.
This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. Same as I drop cold bowls of borscht on the laps of customers casually. And the court will casually accept this new evidence. That is the court record. Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? Oh, wait, I know who exactly that is. Shady 14. Dude, I'm just noticing that. That's my boy. That's my boy. Elliot. Elliot got his own Twitch. I didn't even know that, boy. I didn't even know that. But in the room, the hideout, we call it. Excuse me. The hideout is a room where the famous gangster Bad Guy. Dude, his name is literally Bad Guy. His name is literally Bad Guy. In the room where murders took place. What? Your look of utter surprise is lovely. I will post by courtroom door later for you. Da. Photo will be numbered and you will write which one you want a copy of. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and some guy named Bad Guy. Oh no, Olga Orly, a witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means she's the killer. Very well, witness. You will testify in the courtroom in the night events. It would mean that I'm the killer. Am I the killer? Maybe the killer was the friendship we made along the way. Maybe it was that. The night, customers asked me to deal cards for the game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. The victim, he plays the whole time with his hands on locket at his neck. Then last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. So I saw 2 contradicting statements in that. Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith. Good objection. Great objection. That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. Justice. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But I hadn't lost in 7. He hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as a prosecution either. Until you met Phoenix, right? I have some evidence here. Cool. What are we looking at here? These are the poker chips as they lay at the very moment of the crime. Different to the defendants. To the victim. Chips, you say. Yes. Why did you say da? Imagine that poker is a war. Your hand is an army, and the chips are the spoils. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of the court number 3. What does that mean? Poker face. Look at this picture. It does seem the most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Okay. Alright, so we get another shit added to the court record. Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Oh my god. I can't stop burping. Oh my god. That fateful night. That night, customers come deal the card game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on head. Why is this important? Why are you bringing up the hat shit, huh? It's already April. How could it be cold? At Borscht Bowl Club, we have pride in authentic, rustic Russian restaurant theme. That was a really cool alliteration right there. Outside it is a city in spring, but inside it is always as cold as Mother Russia. No way I'm going there. When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning. Da. Alright, so nothing about the hats. Like that. The victim, he played the whole time with his hands in the locket of his chest. Can we talk about this locket? Can we talk about this locket real quick? His locket. I believe it was good luck charm. Da. He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. Though it were small enough to fit around his neck, it would have much lift. The defense would like to clarify, or a clarification that this is the locket we're talking about. I mean, I painted with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket. Of course. I know that. You say rocket? That's racist. Oh, shaped like a rocket. Oh, I thought we were being racist. You know how Japanese people or Asian people can't say L in some racist communities? Or maybe, yeah, it's true. That's why it's called that. Nah, a locket. A locket. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing? Hard of understanding. What happened next? So obviously, those two were nothing, but this is a big deal. I'm gonna have to point out that the death was not by strangling, but by a blow to the head. Oh, really? Strangling, you say? That's odd. Da. Normal customers only choke on borscht. I wonder what else they choke on. Aha. No. I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Man, I could use a blow to my head. You know, if you know what I'm saying. Up top. Alright, no. Miss Orley, really now? Did you witness the crime? Oh. You know, we did hear an eek in the flashback. Maybe it was her. Looking at the picture, it does seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet, it is in fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Ah. Here's a photo he took of the victim with his hat off during the investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit. Crime scene photo added. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at the victim, his neck. Oh, really? Miss Orley, I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. Indeed, and I do it a lot. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. Let's stop beating it. Why stop beating it? Let's keep beating it, bro. Let's keep beating it until we can't beat it no more. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. That night, customer asked me to deal with a card of hands. So wait. Are you telling me the strangled victim, he hit him? Okay. Last hand is done. The victim played the whole time with this. Asked to deal with the cards. But how did he get hit on the head? Can we look at this? Can we look at this real quick? Photo forehead. Hat removed during investigation. So obviously he's getting some good head, right? Like that's what this picture is depicting. This is the face of a man who's getting that good. That suck 3000. That gawk 3000. Chips on the table. Obviously, one on the right has more chips. One on the left doesn't have more chips. Anything else I can glean from this? Nothing really. I can't see anything from this one. Anything about the phone? Anything on the back? Oh, hello. What's this? Whoa, the battery is being held in with a piece of tape. You should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it, or he just don't care. That's it? Okay, that's it with the phone. Cool. Okay, can't really tell anything from that picture. We've read everything we need to, right? Don't trauma force it ahead. 1:45 a.m. 2:15 a.m. Shady Smith. Alright. Last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. After the defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with the head in a bottle. Can we talk about that some more? You didn't say anything about the hitting before. Sorry. I must be forgetting this. Witness, you will take greater care with your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. And that clears up the discrepancy with the autopsy report, I believe. The defendant made to strangle his victim, then changed his mind and chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. Yes, that sums it up clearly. So he strangled him, then hit him. Something's fishy about all this. Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. There's only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, I've got, Orly. Yeah, she's the killer. A night customer came into this. So how do we pin this on her? How do we pin this on her? Do we have evidence to prove that it was her? The defendant tried to strangle. Last hand is done. Something terrible has happened to the victim. He the whole time with his hands on his locket at his neck. That's this one. A couple of these lines I haven't pressed, so let's see where they would take us. Something terrible. Eek. The defendant will refrain from needless shouting. Sorry. I need to seriously consider this a voice training thing. Now, Mr. Orley, can you tell us what happened? Oh, I was so frightened that I trembled with fear. Victim, he played the whole time with his hands on his locket at the neck. It was cold. Both players played with hats on head. We asked that one already. The night customers asked me to deal the cards. So, why you? You were dealing cards. Do you do this often? I'm doing this. If customers wishes it, I serve anything. More borscht. Is my work. It's good to hear a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service. Welcome to the Borscht Bowl Club, where borscht is in the warm of the waitresses. Thank you for not handing out the flyers. Cool. Cold, both players, the victim. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is there a locket on this man? I do not see a locket on this man. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There is no locket on this man. Objection! Where's the locket at? There was one curious part in this testimony to just let Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on his locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Nah, bitch, I ain't see shit on a man's neck. Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I know you to be able to handle this. But what does it mean? If we were to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Locket don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off. No. Take it off? Wait. You don't mean the defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Oh, so you think he took off the locket? What do you have to say to this? Say yes. Just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck. Oh my fucking god, I just noticed he had a locket. Oh? You mean this? Yes, it is a locket with a photograph inside a photo of my daughter. Bro, got a daughter? Come again. Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? We confirmed at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. So Mr. Wright has a locket too. Why don't I buy that? That this is just a coincidence. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Well now, the results of this poker game led to the murder. Perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. Furthermore, testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost badly. Oh, she got something to say. Miss Orley? You will testify to the court about the game between the victim and the defendant. Da da. Da 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 da. The game began with 3,500 points and chips for each man. House chips come to two sizes, small and large. Just like my favorite type of penises. Nope, that didn't make any sense. It wasn't needed to be said. The one who was winning was the victim. For last hand defendant, play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... Indeed, look at this picture. It seems to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. Ah, how many times have you heard those words? I done it in a fit? What? A common tale, but true. Can I read that again? I done it in a fit of rage, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. Never heard that before. He thinks the judge watches too many old court movies. That's what I was thinking. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Serious competition. The game began with 350 points in each man. Let me think about how those point distributions would be on the table. 350. Let's say each big chip is 500. And let's say every small chip is 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 chips on the table. 10 times 5 is 50. 10 times 500. 5,000. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So there would be 5,000 points on the table completely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 chips on the table, 600 chips total. So if one man gets 5, the other man gets 5, it would both have 250. And it would need 10 small chips each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some chips are missing on the table. Right? Some chips are missing on the table. Are they on the floor? No, they're all on the table. Some chips are missing. Talk to me real quick, lady. Are those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used? No, not specific. Not special. Usual game, usual rules. If each man began with 350 points, the total would be... let me do the math. You don't do the math. I'll do the math. 7,000. Yep. Exactly. 7,000 points. Yes. Please. This isn't a calculator or calculus. It's not even long division. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. We know that. The one who's winning, it was the victim. For last hand defend, all chips on the table and lost. Defendant played with all chips on the table. Where are the chips at, bro? Chips are missing on the table, bro. Last hand. It was a large point of any hand. Defendant hand, it was excellent. He tried to use it to take victim from behind. It appears that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture. Indeed. It's true, exactly. However, so is the victim's. One with the high number wins and the defendant loses. The victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next. Once the cards lay down on the table, it happened. The moment loss was decided, the defendant grabs bottle, table, and finish that sentence. I want to know exactly what happens. Does he fuck him? Did they fuck? Was there sex involved? Nope, probably not. And what happened next? I'm gonna think of it now. I shake and tremble. Did not believe such thing would happen. What such thing? Please, you must believe. I have no idea. How could such thing occur? What such thing? Niet. The defendant had been hitting victim. I saw it all happen right before me. I saw a bottle come down on victim's head. Decisive, isn't it, your honor? The witness saw the very moment the crime. Remember, your first goal is to gather information. Yes, first. Look out, contradictions. Here comes justice. Alright. So, 350 per person, 7,000 per on the table. Can we talk about the quantity or value between these chips? Real quick. Of course. Something fishy with these chips. That's what I'm saying. Should I press harder? Yes, press harder. Maybe you should explain a bit more about these chips. Explain. What's the value between these chips, bro? Poker chips or poker chips? There's not fish and chips. Not chips off the old block. Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask something. What are those chips worth? That's what I'm asking. Are there any dollars or rubles even? Niet. As I have said before, it was a game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Two types of chips, 100 points and 1,000 points. 1,000. Ooh, 1,000, not 500. Ooh, okay. It's not money, Justice, sir. Don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have to add to her testimony. Yes. All right. Yes, please. Add to the testimony. I should know where I was going with this. I know where you're going with this. I should be the fucking attorney at this point. All right. Two kinds in all. So the big points, the big ones have to be 1,000. 1, 2, 3. There's 10. There's 10,000 chips on the table. That's way too many chips. There's more chips than needed to be. There's extra chips on the table. Press the shit out of this some more. Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you were going to say before you hand your hand. Raise your hand. You're not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. Better think of something to ask. And quick. Two types of chips. The small ones are 100 and the big ones are 1,000. Right, of course. Huh? Don't waste our time. Sigh. Is that all? Yes. Oh, great. Mr. Gavin made me stop her, and now I'm the only one looking dumb. Oh, Justice. Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? Me? There's a clear contradiction in the information we have in our hands. What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. You're not a kindergartner after all. Calculation? Dude, they make me feel like stupid. I'm gonna just do it. I'm just gonna do it. Too much chips on the table, bro. You said there's 350 per person, 3,500 per person. There's too many chips on the table. You're sure it was victims who won? Absolutely sure. Ooh. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten, just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000? Why? Oh, scared the shit out of me. It was a big one, of course. Duh. Of course, I thought so too. But then the total didn't add up. That's what I'm saying. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points of the chips, and the combination value is 7,000. Yes, my calculations are correct. Let's see. 3 plus 1 carry the 5. There are, Your Honor. Now, look at the photo that alligated shows all the chips. If the chips are worth 1,000 points, the small chips are worth 100 points, and you added them up, which one is it? Don't look yourself. You're not a kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. Yep, the chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony.
Why? How could this be?
Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why, right? There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Start pointing out the wrongs. Chip counts were wrong. Both were right. Both were right. Each man began the game with 350 points. All the chips are indeed shown in the photo. And there's only one answer. What is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Oh my god, wait. Is that right? I just like randomly did that. So like 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6,000 chips on the table, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times 100. 1,000 points in general. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe? I don't know. I might be wrong. So I know what I was doing. Small chips were worth 1,000 points, and not the big ones. Madness. Utterly madness. Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 on large table. 10. Alright, that does make 7,000. Oh, it does. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it all out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad it was the one who did it. But what? The value of the chips may be different, but the change is nothing. Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of the chips. Still. Eto. Exactly. The chips are 1,000 points, and the large chips are 100. Let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. Oh shit. That would mean Phoenix won. Oh, 4,100 points. Well, now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning at that night after all. Ooh, that's impossible. My client had every reason to kill the victim. Every less. After all, he was winning.
Now, Miss Orley, you must have done the true value of the chips since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? Order. It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright seems to suppose defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether we can... who's saying hold it here? Who's saying hold it? Excuse me, what, Miss Orley? I want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss Orley? What do we see? The last hand, there was a cheat? There was a cheat? Oh, now you want to tell me about this? A cheat? You don't mean a trick? Wait, or do you mean a scam? They're all saying the same thing. Yes, there was a cheat in the last hand. That is why the game ends with chips as they are. Great, just great. First thing we have a liar, now we have a cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the worse or for the better, who the fuck knows? For the interesting. Ah, I see what you mean by that. Will please testify to the court. Tell us about the cheating in the final hand. The last hand. Both men had full hands. There's 4 of each card in deck from ace to the king. Though both men's hands cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument da. The defendant tricks with exposed. But man, the way she talks is just like... It's hard for my brain to wrap around for some reason. Let's go bottle in the hand, poor Mr. Smith. Why are you zooming in so much, camera? Chill. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high score hand. Not easy to make.
My experience, that alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin, what's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker? I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. Well, is this some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice? You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a hand kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cans with the same name make a pair, and 3 makes a 3 of a kind. This is actually very helpful to me. I don't know much about gambling. I'm not much of a gambler myself. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 of 3 kinds. That's full house. So we got 777 AA. I see. 3 of a kind and 2 of a pair. That does sound very easy to make, doesn't it? You can see each player hand in this photo. Oh, look at that. I see 3 of a kind in both hands and 2 of a pair in both hands. Easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he had cheated in the last hand, we'll leave one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Whoever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? Alright. The last hand, both hand had full houses. True. There are 4 of each hand card in deck, each from ace to king. Look at both men's hands. Cheat is more obvious. Okay. Let me look at the hands again. Let me look at them hands again. Phoenix has the wrong card. Phoenix has a weird ace card. Yeah. So he cheated. Phoenix cheated. I see, said the blind man, but came to argument the defendant tricks was exposed. He took bottle in his hand, poor Mr. Smith. Let's talk about this cheat some more. How was it clear? Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace. 5th ace. Still remember both hands very well? There's 3 aces. Is that true? I didn't see that. He has 3 aces, and I thought I saw a king there. He's got kings there, bro. What you talking about? When did he have that ace? When did he have that extra ace there? I can't even tell from that angle. A hand. Perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's jokes. Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. Mr. Red had 2. That's 5 aces in all. I don't see that though. I don't see that here. In the post photography, I see 3 kings in that man's hands over there. So Mr. Smith hand had 3 aces and Justice 2. That's not fucking true. I'm gonna show this fucking picture out real quick. I'm not crazy. Y'all just talking shit out your ass at this point. Appears the witness is mistaken. That's what I'm saying. Mistaken? But my name is Orlando. Look at this piece of evidence, clearly contradicting the testimony. That's the photo of the chips. Is it justice? Perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend, because he's an idiot. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in the photo. You guys talked about 3 aces in my man's hands, but I don't see 3 aces. I see a king right there, bruh. Miss Orley, your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith had 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim hand had only 2 aces. I'm gonna look over here for a second. My neck's kinda getting tired.
Objection!
Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant had 2 aces in his hand. Yep. 5th ace. What the fuck that ace y'all talking about? I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. That's what I'm saying. Fourth ace. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please. It's true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. It's odd. She must be lying. Yet she's more sincere I've seen all day. You're right. Trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin, who knows what lies in the store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, I might examine the actual cards. Cards? Mr. Payne? Yes. The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? The victim's hands. Wait a second. No. It's victim's hands. The defendant's requested time to explain Smith's hands. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Get to it, Justice. I'm getting to it, brother. Don't rush perfection. Silly goose, you. Only one of the cards is a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy myself. Blue isn't so not red. All right, so there's a blue card among the red cards. Okay, and that's what I can glean from that. Can we look at the victim's cards? And we look at the defendant's cards too? I literally just did this, didn't I? I literally just did this! I literally did this! Your Honor, look at this. Look at this. One of the victim's cards is blue. Eh? It's impossible. But I put the card in the right hand, in the right's hands. What was it, Mr. Orley? I merely said da. I have eek. Your Honor. Mr. Gavin, yes. Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? Well, I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. Oh, he's speaking Russian. Ah, wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley, she's the cheater, a professional, I'd wager. Nice. Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Oh, I mean, of her mistake. Yeah, that was weird. Don't say it like that, man. That's not cool. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That was not cool of me to say that, by the way. That just did not sit well with me. That's impossible. But I put that card in the right's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat, not with the client, but with the victim. Ooh, hear this music. But the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Rat jams. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? Wait, you didn't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, or are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. No way, she did the job. She fainted. Mr. Payne, where's your witness, Miss Orley? It appears she's lost consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice, Your Honor, it seems you've presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith, and that means this court cannot pronounce a victim for the defendant at this time. I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further... Objection! What? What? Mr. Wright, you can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spewing now? Think one of the cards have a different colored back? Don't you worry. Who did you water it means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous. Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculousness. Indeed, he does. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of this. Let's clear up the fact about the game, the fateful night. Clear up the fact about the game, the fateful night. As was said before, we altered between two decks of cards that night. Said before, the two decks of the club had different colored backs, blue and red, one color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the two decks might be mixed. We used different colors and they still got mixed up. Well, use the red decks for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about the blue cards. Whatever. In the end, one card of the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was cheating. Yes, into the deck would seem indicating cheating. Yet, this card raises two serious questions. Apollo? Yes. Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped? Well, there are three broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped between the murder, during the murder, and after the murder. I think after would be a better thing. Well, yes, thanks for a new bulletation. Of course, it was swapped. Oh, it might be simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. What do you think the cards were swapped? When the card was swapped with the deck? I think it was after. After the murder. Right? Right, I'm not crazy, right? I think it was after the murder. Perhaps it happened after the murder. What? Ridiculous. What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly. Yes, but tell me, how did you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in the world, but very little impossible. Oh, even when the back of the cards are different color? If you pull that during the game, wouldn't you be caught in no time? Quite true. What would that mean? The blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder. Indeed, indeed. Okay, this is going past silly and through on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game is over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes. A simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remaining in the room, alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card? Would it be Olga? To swap out the card? It would be someone else. Because she wasn't in the room when the murder happened, right? Now I'm getting a little iffy on the situation. It probably was Olga. Let's say Olga. trying to cover up the evidence of the cheating. That does make some sense. Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation. What? The swapped cards was from the wrong deck. Yes, the blue card was snuck into a red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors. Remember that you're talking about Olga Orly. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would... It was a mistake? Ah. Give a little more thought, Apollo. Right. So who was the swap red card for the blue card? Someone else had to. Because it can't be Phoenix, right? Who swapped the cards was Phoenix, right? It wasn't Phoenix, right, of course. And well, it doesn't seem like it would have been Olga or Orly either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly at the same point. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. And if this card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share, to the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. Yeah, I'm sure he misses the courtroom and the fun it is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and wasn't Miss Orly, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? But it was going in one direction. I don't know a One Direction song. I was trying to think of a One Direction song. I don't know them like that. We'll find that indeed after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hands. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that first was swapping the wrong color card because the one who did the swapping didn't know two colors of the cards were big. Maybe they were colorblind? The other mistake was the number on the back. Right, numbers on the card. Swapped it. Wasn't expecting there to be fifth ace after all. Full house one. Swapped it. What? There's one problem. According to the court record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility, there was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. What? Man, he loves to do that. He loves to do a long what? I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of this incident, there were only 3 people at the room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem. Yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in the chambers during this recess. Certainly. Ooh, in my chambers. What's in the chambers, bro? Alright. Very well. This trial will resume in 20 minutes. I think this is a great point to save and take a break myself.